Wheelie sing?
Is that 1920s Wheelie?
I'm gonna rub you out, see?
Ryan, that was the most Seth Rogen-esque laugh I've ever heard you do.
Sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, that sounded like a real pothead laugh. Speaking of which, I watched The Disaster Artist recently.
Changing your pants.
No, I'm taking them off. I had them off the whole time. Remember, you rubbed my leg.
Well, that's right.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Autopod Decepticast. This is your weekly podcast that delivers a minute-by-minute breakdown of the 1986 Transformers movie. This is episode 67, which means we're going to be covering from the 66:01 to the 67-minute mark. This is your host, Aaron. Everybody, good day. And with me are the 100-year freeze and hardened O-rings to my ignition-induced stressed-out booster casings. That's right, everyone. It's Shuttle Disaster Week here at the
Is this a Challenger
ABDC.
reference?
Wow.
I don't like it. Ryan, people died.
I was one of the few kids. I don't think we watched it in class like so many other people did. But I remember the day it happened. We were at East Elementary. Do you remember watching it?
I remember. I don't know because I've seen it so many times that I can't remember the first time I saw it.
I think you're right, Caleb. We all went to the same elementary school. That is how long our friendship dates. And I recall it was second grade. We were supposed to watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that what our school did in case something bad happened. Maybe they were recording it and then they were going to bring us... Because we were supposed to watch it. I remember coming back in from recess and my teacher, Mrs. Thames, she said in front of the class, she was like, "I'm sorry, class. The Challenger it exploded upon launch."
Now, when did this movie come out in relation to the Challenger? Because I think Challenger tragedy was in '86.
I believe it was, wasn't it?
I guess they wouldn't have been that far behind each other.
Let's find out.
You brought it up.
Well, I didn't do that research. But
Why the Challenger again?
I'm trying to think. I feel like something inspired it. I think I was just thinking about pop cultural things from our youth, and that.
I don't know if I would consider. I don't know if I consider it.
Well, there is spaceships involved here in the episode, I guess. Okay, so
there are some ships about to launch.
The Challenger exploded on January 28th, 1986.
So this predates it by a couple months, but the release of this movie,
which helped contribute to its demise, the January date, and the fact that it was 100 years.
Oh, it's true. It's true because that was how I got the reference of the rings. There were some seals that froze and failed, and that's why the Challenger.
There were actually it was an engineering issue with the shuttle that it dated back as far back as they'd been using it, but essentially the O-rings always accounted for that issue of letting some of the gases intermix. But because it was colder than it normally would be, the O-rings didn't swell up and seal the area off. And 7 people died. Yeah,
it was as with all disasters, it was a confluence of a lot of things had to go wrong all at once.
All right, well, we're kicking it off.
Which is really just a sad way to introduce the episode. Jesus Christ. Which is also not a happy episode.
Wow.
God damn.
So let's kick that into the last episode recap with the dance party that goes all night long. To the tune of Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling. Grimlock got to first base with a lonely Junkion, and the Junkions reveal the television-inspired story behind their speaking style right before performing a full-on resurrection, right before our very eyes, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot different than the 7 lost souls upon the Challenger.
I don't understand. I don't understand why you want to keep bringing this up.
It was really more, I wanted to get into where Caleb went as a kid. I mean, it's still a sad thing. I just couldn't remember if you guys remember actually being there or watching.
I remember
We've
watching it,
covered
but again, it's yeah.
I remember it being discussed at school. I don't remember watching it at school. And
I don't remember it being discussed at school, except in the aftermath.
I can just see the responses to this on Twitter. God damn, guys. What the fuck?
That's how I feel.
If we could only
Listeners, I am with you.
if we could only get responses via Twitter, that would be great.
We're just like bad kids in school. We don't mean to be bad, but we have to do something for our reaction.
Oh, we're acting out for attention. Now it's like we're shock jocks.
How about that Challenger explosion, everybody? So at the top of our minute, Ultra Magnus gets up, and people are pretty delighted that he's still around. You hear scream, he's alive! And Ultra Magnus seems also both shocked and pleased, equally happy to find that his companion's sparks are still shining bright.
You're all alive.
They're good job.
Well, yeah, he's like stating.
I always
like,
thought that was a weird
why would
response.
he say that?
I think because
Unlike the Challenger disaster,
stop it. Stop it. I think that the reason that he is that reaction is that as we saw like weeks and weeks ago, whenever he sealed that like cave where they were in there and faced Galvatron on his own, he expected to die. But he was also, I think, in the way he reacted, afraid that they were going to die as well.
Sure. Like, yeah, they were doing as much as they possibly could to save them, but he still probably thought, nah,
He thought it was a hopeless cause, I think, yeah.
I mean, it's almost as if they should have had some little tiny replicas of each
Some clones. Also, by the way, that does not come back in the script.
So Hot Rod solemnly, at this point, the Matrix. And Ultra Magnus is basically like, it's gone, and Cup's, and with it, all hope. And Hot Rod says, no!
I feel like Hot Rod's reaction, like where he says the Matrix, I feel like it's a little accusatory. It's
You
just
think so? Why
yeah,
did you pick that up?
the tone that he says it
Like
with.
the
it just,
Matrix,
it just-
Ultra Magnus, what did you do with it?
Yeah, like it felt a little shitty. Like he's like, hey, the Matrix? Hello, where
he
is
wasn't
it?
there. However, he probably did just see Ultra Magnus's chest close, whole, unfilled.
That's right, exactly. Matrix
hole.
hole empty.
Hot Rod says, no! And RC RC says, Galvatron has it. Hot Rod, where's Galvatron? Where is he? And Wreck-Gar says in his best game show voice,
And the answer is Unicron.
Why would he know that?
He knows that, and because they've been watching this whole thing unfold, and then Galvatron essentially is robot-splaining that he's going to go take the Matrix to make Unicron his bitch.
that has
so
to
I
be
think
the
that
only
Wreck-Gar
reason.
overhears it.
That is a good explanation. I was going to see, how does everybody seem to know who Unicron is,
Yeah.
except for the Autobots? But I guess they could have overheard that.
True.
They don't know who or what Unicron
Exactly.
is.
They
just know that Galvatron said,
But Hot Rod and Cup do know who Unicron is now.
thanks to our friendly dead Lithonian.
Mm-hmm.
Credits!
Who can say where your heart grows?
Never forget.
Challenger.
Hot Rod at this point says, then we've got to destroy Unicron, which that seems like a huge leap. These guys still really don't know the nature of Unicron or who he really is.
Yeah.
Hot Rod is only acting on a hunch really from earlier in the movie. You'll recall he was like, maybe the Matrix can stop it. And besides,
What do you know about it, lad?
what he should have said was, we need to go to Unicron and get it back from Galvatron, and then if we have time, maybe we'll destroy
Although
Unicron.
Ultra Magnus has also already said this new threat is more than all the Decepticons put together. So
Again, conjecture. I mean, he's right, but it's still just
it's
making
very
it up.
convoluted. It's almost like this movie doesn't make a lot of sense.
So at this point, Wreck-Gar steps up to give another speech.
Yes, friends, act now. Destroy Unicron. Kill the Grand Poobah. Eliminate even the toughest stains.
And I tried to research this.
I did too.
Junk speech, and maybe you found more than I did. I know I heard that eliminate the toughest stains on commercials as a kid, but Transformers the movie is the only thing that came up whenever I tried to look it up.
Yeah, we'll start with that last one because I know I've heard that too, and I tried to Google it, and I got fucking nothing. But like I did, the only thing I stumbled across, I went down a rabbit hole of this old chestnut of "Ring Around the Collar," which was from Risk,
right?
Whisk over a 3-decade like. But I know I've heard eliminates even the toughest stains, unless I'm conflating it with this movie.
Sure, possibly.
But I feel like I've heard that in a laundry detergent commercial.
I swear to God, I feel the same way. I remember it. It's a thing. It existed. But
are we in the Mandela effect?
I was trying to do that, like this ESO thing where I was going to find a commercial and be like, here's the original. It was Tide, everybody.
Yep.
But apparently it wasn't.
I know. I was so dumbfounded.
I was looking up laundry detergent commercial jingles and I couldn't find anything. But so then at this point...
Well, the act now is just like, that's just a callback, I think, to offer expires while you wait, like a salesman's false sense of urgency. Kill the Grand Poobah. I mean, the Grand Poobah, actually, this was interesting to me. The term Grand Poobah originates with Gilbert and Sullivan's 1885 comic opera, The Mikado.
Oh, I just always thought it was from Flintstones.
Yeah, and then it was from, that's where it's best known, is Flintstones, the leader of the Loyal Order of Water Buffaloes, but also...
I'll never forget that time Barney was like, kill the Grand Poobah, Fred.
Eliminate even the toughest stains, Bon. None of that happened. But also, the Grand Poobah is an American rapper, best known as a member of Brand Nubian.
That sounds like something Aaron should have known.
Yeah. I feel like that too. I thought you would have known that name.
Way to have a heads up on me there, Ryan.
Good job, Ryan.
I looked it up a little bit. It's a group that started in '89 and kind of still exists, but kind of doesn't.
As most that existed in '89.
Yeah.
Are. So at that point, Wreck-Gar, he kind of gets up and walks towards a big heaping pile of metal wreckage, and he hits 3 large buttons, and while he's doing that, he delivers some more lines.
No fuss, no muss. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Sale must end. Rush right down and test drive the latest model with no obligation.
And those buttons light up to the touch, and then he says,
New improved Junkion Planet is sleek, sexy import with turbo handling.
So then, lifting slowly from underneath the vast wasteland, a craft emerges. It's not a pretty ship, but it is a ship, nonetheless.
That's a ship?
So, you may have... I'm hoping, Ryan, when we get to script deviations, you have more on this, because he refers to the Junkion planet as a ship at this point. In my versions, it doesn't really mention it, but he doesn't refer to the ship. He refers to the planet as a ship.
I do have information on this, and it is not in my script, but is in my research.
Okay. Well, then let's go.
Because even as a kid, I thought that was a weird line. Why he says new improved Junkion planet, and the reason is, and this is not in my script, apparently not in your script. I don't know what script it is, but according to the TF Wiki, originally the Junkion planet itself was supposed to be the ship. So there was not a ship. The planet itself had thrusters, and that's why he refers to new improved Junkion planet with turbo handling, because they steer the actual planet, which fucking completely alleviates why it's not a sphere and why it's not like that total. It looks, actually, if you look back, kind of looks like the Junkion ship.
It would make good sense for them to actually stick with that.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
No.
The script went through some drafts.
Yeah, sure.
Before it ended up on screen.
Right.
You'd think that they would have caught that before they got Eric Idle into a fucking recording booth.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You would imagine. I mean,
to me is one of the more egregious, like even more so than the way they handled the Ultra Magnus draw and quartering scene. But
I do think that, like, moving away from Junkion itself being a ship, the Junkion ship that rises out of the rubble here, I love how, same way of like Star Trek, every like sub race or like planet has its own style of ship.
Yeah.
They're all very different.
It's recognizable.
Yeah. I think that's really cool.
You always know who they are when they
exactly
get up on the scene.
I did a little research on that.
Oh.
And the Junkion ship actually has a name.
I did this research too. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It is called the Minnow. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't actually given an official name until about 20 years after the movie, to be fair. In a compendium called Transformers The Complete Arc, it was named, and it is definitely a Gilligan's Isle reference.
It is. Would you like me to sing the song that is on the Transformers wiki?
Please do. Why not?
Well, we can cut it out, but like in the same way
rhymes.
as you enjoy that the Wheelie entry on TF Wiki, Aaron, is told in rhyming, the almost entire entry for the Minnow for the Junkion ship is told in the Gilligan's Island song.
In reverence to our listeners who may enjoy Caleb's Wheelie impression, should we have Wheelie sing the
Do you know the Gilligan's Island theme?
Yes.
Some of it gets a little clunky.
Wow, it's really big.
Yeah,
You want me to do this in Wheelie's voice?
Oh God. Okay, here we go. Hunker down, everybody.
I'm sorry for what's about to happen. All right. Just sit right back and you'll read a tale of a mighty ship that launched from good old planet Junk straight into Unicron's grip. When Junkion allies did make, they gave a rousing hurrah and launched the Minnow straight away to kill the Grand Poobah. At Cybertron arrived they did. Flame breath it couldn't avoid. If not for the repair skills of the fearless crew, the Minnow be destroyed. They fought the Chaos Bringer for as long as they could fight with Wreck-Gar, Ultra Magnus 2, Perceptor, perhaps Blur, maybe Wheelie, and the rest before Unicron crushed it to scrap. How's that?
Well done. You did that better than I could have.
Good job, person
Well
who
done,
wrote that.
Caleb.
I am a musician.
And Caleb. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured he could mess with the rhythm a little
It was
bit.
actually way better. Like, especially that last verse, I was having problems with it. I was practicing it last night.
Perceptor.
And
The ship lifts up from the junk. We've got Daniel in awe. We've got Hot Rod and Cup. They look at each other. They nod and smile. And the ship continues to lift upward from as tons of loose refuse fall from it. It reaches its apex, ready for boarding. Great animation on this.
Absolutely.
Again, just that kind of like they're really good at doing junk falling off of junk.
crazy.
I
It's like
guess.
a lot of work.
Wreck-Gar, he kind of leads the pack towards the ship's entrance here. There's
There you go. Look at all
hundreds of
Oh yeah,
fucking Junkions.
this is definitely and understandably where they loop animation.
It is.
Yeah.
And very, like, it's like, I mean, there's probably like 2 frames
Yes,
that they
yes,
use
yes.
because it's just, it's not the greatest. But so they're all running. They board the chip, and they're all chanting, "Yeah, destroy Unicron, kill the Grand Poobah, eliminate
There they
even
go,
the
man.
toughest stains." And that is where the minute
I'm excited, dude.
ends.
They're doing it, man.
And guys, what do you think? This thing's about to kick into triple high gear.
I know.
Rip Deviations.
All right.
So my deviation, this is Aaron speaking. I'm gonna go ahead and go first. Ryan will pick up. Has in my version of the script, Hot Rod has a bit more inspiration to his speech than he does in this one. In this one, he says what he says, and Cup says, "With the Matrix gone, all hope is gone." And Hot Rod says, "No! The Matrix will not fail us." And RC's like, "Didn't you hear Ultra Magnus? We don't have it anymore. Galvatron does." And Hot Rod says, "Then we've got to trust in ourselves. And no matter what the odds, destroy Unicron."
Okay.
That's pretty good actually.
They cut that down, huh?
Yeah, I feel like that would have given it. I feel like they should have.
Yeah,
we talked in the last episode about how it doesn't really feel like. I mean, we've picked up on it in a minute by minute
Doesn't feel like
fashion,
he's stepping up.
but it doesn't feel like he's stepping up as much as he should to really maintain a leadership mantle or get. But that's a pretty good. In the movie, from the moment Hot Rod says we've got to destroy Unicron, basically the movie progresses. The Junkions unveil the ship, and they all just shove off. Mm-hmm. In the script, there's a bit of debate. Like once Hot Rod starts talking about, well, we're going to kill Unicron, the people are like, well, how are we going to do that? You know, we don't even have a ship. That's at the point in which the Junkions reveal their ship. And just a slight differential in the Junkion quote, "Kill the Grand Poobah," and instead of "eliminate the toughest stain," they say "flush cosmic troubles down the drain."
That
don't
makes
have
more
that.
sense.
It's funny how
Didn't he say at one point, "And we've got trouble down the drain"?
Nope.
I swear that at some point
Nope.
that's said.
Nope. That's not a line.
Okay, I believe you.
I swear.
I don't
believe
think you do believe me based on your frantic typing into your phone.
Ryan, what have you got going on?
All right. This is pretty different, and I don't like... In your script, I like the way they do the hot rod transition to leadership. They kind of do this here, too, in the earlier version, but I do not like it. So Ultra Magnus is alive, and he stands up. Everybody's cheering, and Wreck-Gar says... This is the weird point where Wreck-Gar says, "Now I, Wreck-Gar, say, friends, want to go fight Decepticons? Yes, Junkions, see how they do to good guys, so Junkions fight Decepticons too. Flush troubles away!" Which is... Okay.
So now they know who the Decepticons are.
I guess.
Agree with the Autobot take on their conflict and have decided to just... I mean, which is basically what happens, but...
Mm-hmm. And then Springer says, "Well, let's get going," to Ultra Magnus. "What are your orders?" Ultra Magnus, a beat, lowers his head. "I'm not fit to lead. Without Optimus's spark, I'm just a soldier."
That's right. At this point, the Matrix
Is
contains...
the little tiny Optimus spark. And Cup says, "Well, we can't stand here and debate. Somebody must assume command. Springer?" And I'm like, yes, absolutely. And then Hot Rod steps out before Springer can answer, and I'm like, God damn it! And then Hot Rod says, "The Decepticons were sending Earth energy to an unknown point in space," which, remember, now in the script, he's sucking it up
There's like
through
some
a cosmic
sort of
straw.
machine probably implanted in Earth that's shooting Earth energy to Unicron.
And he says, "Which is where we were headed until our party was split up. I say we pick up where we left off and pull the plug on the Decepticons once and for all. Autobots forward."
What?
So he does not...
I said it in a weird way, but Autobots forward. I was trying to make it sound shitty.
Autobots 4.
Word. Yeah. Junkions
William
and Dinobots take up the cheering and repeat forward as Hot Rod gets a handshake from Springer and a pat on the back from Ultra Magnus.
Boy.
And then Cup puts his hand on Hot Rod's shoulder and says, "You've grown, lad." And Hot Rod says, "I know." And then Riley, imitating Cup affectionately, "Reminds me of the time the Carbon Wolves attacked me and my party at the Crystal Caverns of Zumba."
Zumba.
Like
Yeah.
the workout routine.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Cup reacts in roars of laughter and shouts forward, and then we pull off to a long shot of the Autobots and Junkions boarding the cruisers and taking off.
Okay. So, in an episode in the 3rd season
Oh my god.
called The
Okay.
Killing Jar, where Ultra Magnus, Cyclonus, Marissa Fairborn, and Wreck-Gar are captured by a Quintesson scientist for experiments, Wreck-Gar does say, "Away go troubles, down the drain."
How do you remember an obscure episode of that show?
You're talking to the guy that remembers the Rocky Bonk thing.
I guess, but like you... Okay.
Am I not? But I mean,
I guess. That's just... Okay. All right. Fair enough. I thought you meant it was in the movie.
I thought it was too.
Okay.
But I was wrong. It was in an episode.
That's impressive. All right. I'll give it
That
to you.
is pretty
well
impressive.
done.
I'm not trying to be impress anybody. I just for some reason I remember.
No, we're going to
that.
give it to you,
I'm glad
and you're
you
going to
brought
take
it
it.
around.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'm glad you brought it around.
Nice. Well done.
I'm just making sure I'm not crazy. That's
Yep.
all.
Good job. And you probably saved us from no comments about how we were wrong.
That's very likely.
Well, we were right. They would have been like, no, Caleb was right too.
But
Yeah.
right. But you guys were right in that it's not in the movie. But they did recycle that phrase.
They did.
For another episode.
I agree.
Yeah.
They did.
Absolutely.
All right.
So in your version of the script, Ryan,
Yeah.
Junkion is still not a ship.
Correct. I couldn't find a version of the script where it is a ship, but like it makes sense. And I didn't like try to backtrack all the TF Wiki references, but like it makes sense because that line does not make sense in context of the movie, but only makes sense if Junkion is a ship.
It's weird that it's something from so old in the development that it survived all the way to animation.
Or was in a script that like was one version that they rewrote again or something.
I think I read somewhere that maybe in the Transformers the movie, the comic book, the version of the script they based that off of, Junkion becomes a ship and flies
or
out.
is a ship.
But it's interesting that had to have been a later version of the script, certainly not the version
absolutely.
that you're working from.
Had to be.
And but yet that element still remained on that version.
I would like to think
I mean,
that
unless-
Junkion-
Mike Seibert, if you are listening,
Yeah.
you obviously have the Transformers the movie comic books. Perhaps
It's
you can
true.
call and send us the visual.
Yeah, like please screenshot that page where they escape Junkion. Do they use the ship, or is it, or do they use the planet, or is it a ship?
I would like to think that the planet Junkion, if it was a ship, would transform into a giant garbage truck and fly through space.
Like
Like
Wreck-Gar,
in Transformers Animated. Mm-hmm. Voiced by
the
Weird
one
Al
Weird Al,
Yankovic.
the one voiced by Weird Al.
I was not aware of that.
I dare to be stupid.
He transforms into a garbage truck?
Yep.
Oh, I'll be darned. Well, wow.
All right.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's getting chilly.
Who are you gonna
What?
call? We can.
I'm the ghost of the iconic moment.
You know,
One of these days.
Do you have an iconic moment,
Caleb.
Carter?
We don't have anything on screen, so he can't say what the iconic moment is.
Robots.
It's immediately.
Shelves. When they're all running to the ship.
Oh, that last scene we saw. Okay, yeah, no, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
Yep. They're all running to the wrong ship. They're running to the
They're running to
Quintessence.
both. The Junkion ship is in this. We're looking at the last frame. The Junkion ship is beyond the Quintessence ship. Yeah.
I gotcha. Cool. That was my iconic moment.
Great.
What's yours,
There it
Ryan?
is.
I didn't have one.
Aaron?
I don't know how iconic
I'm
it
trying to take
is.
control of the situation. Aaron, what was your iconic moment?
I don't know how iconic it is, but the movie really seems to make a big deal out of the reveal of the Junkion ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
Yep.
Almost like it was gonna be a planet that was a ship, and then nope, just a ship coming out of the wreckage.
right. Just a little penis coming out of that fat Junkion body.
It's getting penetrated and erect all over the place.
Yeah, there's like, oops, sorry.
What was that?
I dropped a ruler. Sure. Yeah, but it is weird. It is weird to think about it. Like, there's one ship that like penetrates it, and there's another ship that it gets erect out of it. There are a lot of
Surprised we didn't make a wreck dick
of
jokes.
I
That
was
a
trying.
missed opportunity.
I felt it was like really low hanging fruit.
Okay, you're too much of an artist. For
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to work so low. I mean, this is highbrow humor, ladies and gentlemen. Autopod Decepticast After Dark. Come on.
I don't know, but I know that I would rather you put it at the beginning
No, they're too long.
because I don't want it to. I don't want it to be like,
bookended by.
let's see, jizz, bro cells. Where are we?
I do like how everyone comments about that.
Because
It is unsettling.
Oh yeah, it's.
The only place it belongs is at the end.
I understand, but God damn, I hear Ryan talk about that kind of stuff, and then my son chimes in production tag.
Maybe it's just because I don't have a biological connection, but it doesn't bother me one bit.
Of course
No,
not.
me neither.
No, it makes sense that it wouldn't. I understand why you aren't as disturbed by it as I am.
How old do you think he'll ever listen to these episodes?
Maybe if you die prematurely, he would.
I don't think
To get to know,
He
what
might-
his dad was all about.
he might check him out someday, but I don't know.
Does he care about Transformers at all?
No.
I would see this. I've thought about this before too. Of like, if my dad had like a show, like a radio show, or even like he made like a home movie or something, I'd be like, I definitely want to see that. So it'd be hard for me to imagine, like, as somebody who's a child growing up now with all this like media out there where their parents
so
can just put it out there. I'm like, does it make you want to check it out, or does it make it like, ugh?
Yeah,
Forget
I mean,
it.
My
Harrison,
dad's doing a podcast.
Right.
Harrison makes his own like YouTube videos and
Sure.
stuff, and so I don't think it would be quite as special to him as it would be back in the day, where it's like,
That's true.
It's a unique. It would be a more unique thing in the past for somebody to do something like this.
That's true because you have less examples. Like there's
Right.
not ubiquitous examples of your father from age like 20 to
Yeah, I
60.
don't think if I was in his position that I would listen to all of them, but it would be fascinating to listen to parts of them to hear his dad from a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe our clip show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It would be interesting to have it as a kind of a historical artifact.
That's
this
kinda-
is my
yeah, that's my
dad's
perspective
recording
of it.
all these years ago and interesting, and
Yeah,
It is.
I wouldn't approach it the same way. as other people would, for the sake of Transformers, he would be approaching it to hear his dad. And there's a chance, obviously, that he would stumble upon an After Dark, and I'm sure that he will probably be like, what the fuck?
But now, thankfully, we've had this conversation on record, and he'll be like, oh, okay, Dad wasn't cool with that.
Yeah, that's assuming he hears this one particular part.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't
Hello, Harrison from the future.
know. I mean, I'm not worried about him hearing it. I'd rather him not hear it now.
What age? 13? Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
16, still a tender teen.
What is that? You guys have no idea. You guys are fucking clueless. I don't know.
I mean, I just feel like I remember what I was doing at like 14 and 15. I'm like, this is pretty mild comparatively.
I'm sure I don't
know.
I can't really say, draw a line when I would have him listen to it, but probably when he's in high school or, yeah.
All right, I'll put it on my calendar.
Thanks.
If you die tragically, I'll definitely be like, I'll give him a link to the website.
Ryan's just going to do a mashup of Autopod After Dark and just send it to him. I'm not even in it.
Actually, at your funeral, I'm going to go up to him. I'm just going to give him a business card with very nicely
I like
printed.
how you're assuming I'm going to die before you are.
You have brought this up 6 times.
So let me get this out. Let me just get this out. So I'm going to give him a business card, and it's going to be a plain white business card in very tasteful font. It's going to say www.autopoddecepticast.com, and I'm going to hand it to him in the Chinese fashion.
Yes.
With 2 hands, and he will accept it, and he will bow, and then I will say to him, please rate and comment and subscribe.
That's cool.
Good job, sir.
Next time on the Autopod Decepticast.
Our Autobot pals take off to confront this Unicron character that nobody really knows anything about. Mm-hmm. And we rejoin Galvatron and Unicron, who are surely to have yet another productive business meeting. Just kidding. Actually, we will see that Galvatron underestimates Unicron.
I'm excited for the next minute.
It's well drawn as well.
Oh, yeah.
There's
It's
some
great.
Very beautiful animated
Caleb
sequences
knows.
on the horizon.
Yep, know all about what's coming up.
So thanks, everybody, for listening. We're on that iTunes, a.k.a. Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, and TuneIn. Then we're on our social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All of them at Autopod Decepticast.
And children of the future, please rate and subscribe and leave us a review.
And don't forget the web presence.
Oh, absolutely.
AutopodDecepticast.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you subscribe and shit. Ryan,
It's gonna
are you going to put up some video of the Challenger explosion on it?
I guess I have to. God damn it! I forgot that we brought it in that way.
Maybe some diagrams of how the O-rings failed.
I will also put up some some of the more amusing whisk ring around the collar commercials I came across. And if anybody can find the Mandela effect is like situation where Aaron and I remember eliminates even the toughest stains, please let us know.
Yeah, or if you just know what that reference.
Absolutely. Is it just from this movie? I don't know.
All right, well, this is a pretty good one. Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye. I have there's a Chinese director of our overseas, like we have a partner, there's a company that we partner with over in China that helps basically with all the cargo consolidations, getting them on the off the Chinese mainland. So I'm trying to brush up on my Chinese business etiquette when meeting him. And there's some interesting ones. The Chinese dislike being touched by strangers.
I think that should be
Yeah.
a rule for everybody.
Do not touch,
I don't
hug,
like being touched
lock
either.
arms, backslap, or make any body contact.
So,
Clicking fingers or whistling is considered very rude.
This is gonna be weird, but I'm gonna take my pants off.
Let's
I'm
see.
super hot.
So never put your feet on a desk or a chair. Well, yeah. Never gesture or pass an object with your feet.
Whoa. How is this coming
Daniel Day-Lewis, you're not going to make it in the Chinese business world.
He's a cobbler.
Blowing one's nose in a handkerchief.
Because my left foot.
Oh. He was a cobbler for a while.
Never, let's see, to beckon a Chinese person, face the palm of your hand downward and move your fingers in a scratching motion.
As opposed to the
Instead of
opposite.
doing like this, never use your index finger to beckon anyone. Sucking air in quickly and loudly through lips and teeth expresses distress or surprise at a proposed request. Attempt to change your request.
Cross-cultural.
Attempt to change your request, allowing the Chinese to save face. Chinese point with an open hand. Never point with your index finger. Over here. Over there. I see one over there. Here's the card translation etiquette. They're exchanged upon meeting. It's best to stand up when you're exchanging. Before presenting your Asian business card, you should, I don't have an Asian business card. You should make sure that it is clean.
Don't let Aaron handle it.
When presenting your Chinese business card, make sure that you hold it Chinese side up. I get what they're saying now. Facing your contact so that he or she can read it. Assuming,
the translation.
If I had a translated version, if not, I'd do this. Exchange business cards one by one, individual to individual, and use both hands where practical. Chinese translated business cards are always exchanged and should be done so with two hands as a sign of respect. Chinese business cards represent the person to whom you are being introduced. So it's polite to study the card for a while and then put it on the table next to you or in a business card case. Or as I did, like flip it over my shoulder whimsically.
International
That's only in
There's a bunch.
it's a big country. That's only in certain regions.
Oh, never distribute or toss your Asian business card in a manner similar to dealing playing cards. Here you go. All right, sorry. This is fascinating to me. Do not put the card in your back trouser pocket. So anyway.
Do not look at Super Ball.
Do not taunt
Happy fun ball.
yeah.
Shall we watch the next minute,
Yeah,
gentlemen?
let's do it.
I was thinking you're wearing Beats, Caleb, and I thought of this the other day, and this must have been done is somebody who just made a thing where you're just holding up beets to your ears, the vegetable.
Like the vegetable? That's pretty
That's
funny.
got to be
actually.
done already.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I like it.
I got my new Beats by Dre.
If it hasn't been done,
Nobody steal that.
It's okay, sweet boy.
Oh, Bumblebee.
in Chinese culture, it's not good to touch people. Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
But I know him.
You can touch me
Well,
if you want to.
Really quick, I had a friend that I worked with in St. Louis who went to Korea for a while, and he said that there was a friend of his that a guy that he met, and they're apparently, and I could be so wrong about this, but apparently in Korea they're very touchy-feely, and he said he was drinking a beer with this guy that he met from Korea, and the Korea guy kept rubbing his hand on my friend's thigh, like up and down, like this the whole time.
That might be the Korean version of like a back slap.
Perhaps. I mean, he could have been hitting on him, but
Maybe.
the impression was it was just like.
There's no easy way out of this. So
yeah,
let's see.
Let's cut that all
Let's
out.
just see. Hang on.
I think I'll just tack it on the end of the
Sorry.
Korean
the Chinese
leg
talk.
rub greeting.
Greetings
I feel
in
like
Korean.
you're not going to get a hit on that.
No, I don't think so.
Blow cells, where we sell good.